Welcome back. My name is Lawrence. Today it's not going to be a regular video of stories behind the stamps, but I'm going to give them the reflections of the latest exhibition in Hungary. Bear with me in this episode of the exhibition took place in Budapest, Hungary, from the 31st of March to the 3rd of April this year, 2022. It was actually held in a football stadium, actually in the arena of the football stadium. And there were exhibits there from all over the world. 11 p.m. and I've arrived at the hotel, finally. Tomorrow's going to be a long day. I'm going to be at the exhibition ready from 10 o'clock. And there's a few people who are visiting the exhibition that I've already seen, somebody from Australia and somebody from India. And I'll continue tomorrow. Well, walking around in Budapest, walking to the exhibition a little bit, I can actually say it's very, very cold. It's 3 degrees, and well, I'm not used to this kind of weather. See you soon. When we entered the arena, we were told to wait in line to pay to get in. I didn't understand why we had to pay to get in, because normally we don't pay. But when I got to the end of the line, about 20 minutes later, I was told because I was an exhibitor, I didn't have to pay. So I got a ticket that I didn't have to pay, or a necklace. So now we go upstairs, and here we can see a view of all the frames in one section. And here's a few people looking at the frames. Now the problem here was that there were not many dealers. So they were not regular visitors. There were only visitors there who basically collect stamps, or exhibitors and their families, which is okay because you can see that there were visitors in essence. Sunday actually was a very, very busy day, and so was Saturday. There were many people who came. And that's also quite obvious because it's not working days, it was the weekend. Now, before we continue, it's important to know a little bit about the exhibition classes. And I'll let my little friend tell you now.
Postal history, traditional, thematics, one frame, up and coming open class and postcards. And yes, there are others. We will give a brief description of some of these. We are going to simplify the issues for the non-exhibitor. Postal history is the study of postal systems and how they operated, and is made up mainly of covers. Amongst others, it is the study of how a letter went from A to B and the rates used. Traditional is the study of a particular stamp or series or period. An example would be a study of the 1840 penny black stamp. Thematic class is the class that I exhibit in, and the main emphasis here. The exhibit tells a story, and the items used are taken from all areas, including traditional, postal history, postal stationery and others.
Now you have to realize that for me personally, exhibiting is an exhilarating experience. I take a page and I prepare it on the computer, then I print it on special paper, and then I cut it out to, if I have to window an item, and finally I put the items in, and then I put them in the protective package itself. And then now we can see it's on the exhibit frame. Let's check into that particular picture, and there we have it. Now here I am waiting excitedly for the results. Now this is after months and months and months of preparation. The class I exhibit in is thematics. And in my personal exhibit, I tell a story. I tell the story about, from my point of view, the Jewish homeland and our continued struggle for survival. And we were waiting eagerly for the results, and the results were only published on Saturday. In other words, I had Thursday and Friday of biting nails. And I was awarded with this prize, which is a gold medal, 93 points, with a special prize for the treatment, which is the way I handled the material. A good friend of mine, a very, very good friend of mine, and here he is, Yoram Liobenaiker. He collects chess. Now, it's not exactly chess. I want to call it chess would be an insult. He does a comparison between chess and war. He actually calls chess the game of war. Now, for the first time in his exhibiting career, my friend Yoram got a large gold. Very, very well deserved. I'm very, very happy for him. And here you can see his title page. And I'm going to show you a few items along the way from his exhibit. This exhibit is from a very good friend of mine, Yoram, and he got a large gold with felicitations. A very, very good result indeed. Now, what his exhibit is all about, he takes a chess and equates it with war. Okay, now here we have some examples. I'll just show you some. Let's see, where should we go? Okay, and how it all began, Yeah, so it starts off. The sides line up. The sides line up. So here we have the foot soldier armed with a spear. Foot soldier armed with a spear, and on many times with a rifle. And in chess, the foot soldier is a pawn, the pawn. Now that's a very, very nice item, but you can also say things like St. George who fought the dragon on a horse, and the chess equivalent to the horse is a knight. Very, very nice piece. From a very, very nice piece, you can see the chess. In thematics, we very often like to use errors. Actually, it's quite expected. And the nice thing about it is when you can take an error and use it thematically. Okay, here we see a nice example of when the perforation is through the head of the person. So what did this gentleman write? He's a large god is well deserved. A splitting headache. One thing that many of us try to do is we try to implement a Mulready. Now Mulready have many adverts on them. This advert is from William Hallett, and it's only 11 postally used copies. And this is the advert that we're referring to. I have the same kind of idea in my exhibit. I don't need to do the whole thing. I'm talking about this advert here, which basically says our Israeli origins, lectures on ancient Israel. Okay, let's do a close-in. Okay. And you can see what I'm referring to. Okay. And here in an exhibit about chess, we have a letter sent by a soldier of Napoleon's occupation army of Germany from Bohemia, 1809. Lovely item, lovely. Let me take you through the exhibit, and I'll show you what I've uploaded from my camera. And please forgive me of the quality. I'm not an expert video taker, but this is the best I could do. Now this item is a very good friend of mine, Daryl Kibble from Australia. He got a large gold again. He got the same thing in London. The message behind the angel story. Now the plan here outlines it, and as you can see, A-N-G-E-L for angel. Okay, it's very, very nice. And here once again we see a kind of study there. Very, very nice items. Very, very impressive. One nice thing that they have, and I'm going to pause it for a moment, is the Hindenburg crash, which he paid for $1,000. Now you might be thinking, he's referring to it because of this stamp. Paul, you called Hermes because it's a cheap speaker. Now in thematics, you can use it on a cover, but it's a regular stamp. But here he's using it on a crash cover in this condition and this item. No one will question something like that. It's beautiful. Here we have another gold exhibit, a hunting necessity, sport, or a combat extermination. It got a gold, as you can see. And here they have a nice item, an Egyptian artwork. But Egyptian artworks like this are very questionable. I have one, but this person has one there, and he has, or she, I don't know which one, another one there, and in some place another. This item here about the queen of plants, the palm, got a large gold for the first time, as you can see. And look at the quality of this item here. Okay, and what you see here is called a study. They took one specific item and developed it throughout the page. As you can see, I have the same in my exhibit. The same kind of development. Now this is lovely. It's basically called Strange Letters. Strange Letters and Postage Stamps works the art against philateliphobia. Now, he got a large silver. I don't believe the way he's done it, he'll ever get more than that. But for the beginning collector, look at how beautiful it is. Look at this. And I like the one, the pig one. Look how lovely his presentation is, and everything about it. It's written in one of the languages that are valid for FIP. It's written in German, and it's simply a delight to look at. A true delight. And as I said, I don't think it's going to get more than that. But for someone who wants to start a collection, I like it. It's like the Austrian innovation, in which they've now brought out one with a plaster, and it's of course it's a gimmick, but it's a nice gimmick to start collecting. Well, this is my exhibit, and as you can see, I got a gold, 93 points, and a special prize. I don't know what the special prize is for, but if once you get a special prize, it means that you're one step below. Okay. To anyone who doesn't understand, I'll explain to you my own concept. Okay, my concept means that I describe the Jewish homeland, and there's a little boy by the name of David. And he goes to school, and at school he's taught about the history and his culture and everything. When he goes home, he then asks his family all kinds of questions. As an example, here he says Boba, which is basically a Yiddish word for grandmother, and in this case it's a great grandmother. What is the number in your arm? And in this case, she tells him all about the Holocaust, and here we see some items from the Holocaust. One of the reasons for the rise of the Nazi Party was the Versailles Convention. Not the reason, but one of them. And at the end of the story, she tells him all about that. At the end of the story, basically, young David gets his answer. And here we see an item which says that the tattoo on the arm is not to remind me, but to remind you, and shows an adult into the hand of a baby. Well, thank you for listening. It's been a pleasure. Until the next video, bye.